If you've decided that you actually do want to pursue leadership roles, how exactly do you communicate what you're capable of? Or if you want your resume to stand out against a host of other applicants, how can you make sure your success is differentiated from theirs? In a video I did called Why Christians Don't Promote Themselves, 2 people responded by both of them asking the same question, which led to this video. How do we quantify the results, what we do, so it can lead to career advancement? A special thank you to Isaac and JL4M for this suggestion. Thank you. Keep watching to find out the importance of quantifying your skill and mastering this new mindset. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Please hit the bell icon so you can be reminded every time I post a new video, which I do 2 times per week. Please also consider becoming a member at motivationeer.com. Your membership really supports this channel. Thank you. Jesus taught about numbers and the principles of economics all across the 4 Gospels. There are many parables. I just want to give a few examples. The parable of the 2 debtors, the parable of the talents, the parable of the dishonest steward, the parable of the 10 virgins, the unmerciful servant, and the hidden treasure. There is so much packed into the entire rest of the New Testament alone, not even considering the Old Testament, on things like wages, savings, budgeting, debt, profit. We as Christians simply can't ignore the importance of numbers to our career. According to Jesus, just knowing our household finances will serve us not only in this life, but the life to come. If you want to see what I mean, just read Luke 16:11. So how about knowing those numbers that surround our career? The more familiar we are with business figures, the more we will be entrusted with leadership responsibility over that business. It is really that simple, and this is one of the best pieces of career advice I could give anybody. Know your numbers, grow your career. That means we want to always be thinking about how our effort adds value numerically to the company. We can no longer feel comfortable saying things as simply as, I develop a strong sense of teamwork, or I provide a high quality output, or I'm very organized and a strong communicator. These are all incredibly fluffy statements about our job. They don't really mean very much. They certainly do not speak the language of leaders. They don't show that we know anything about how business works. What really stands out to a company is when we can converse using numbers that matter the most to those leading the company. When we can speak their language, it will absolutely gain us exposure and it'll differentiate us. You can think about it like this, very simply, everything done by every employee in every company has a number attached to it. It could be cost of goods sold, comp and benefits, defect ratios, gross margin, obviously revenue, variance over plan, things like that. The numbers are attached literally to everything. What we want to do, again, is always be thinking about how our work impacts those numbers directly. If we are doing things at work that don't add a numerical value to the company, not only are we not adding value, we're actually creating waste. I created another video on this channel called If You're Not Adding Value, You're Creating Waste, where I go into that concept a little bit deeper. I do recommend that. It's a good watch. So let's take a few examples of commonly used phrases that might even be on your resume, but you can find in job descriptions and resumes pretty consistently across the internet, and show how to quantify them. Let's start with a very familiar one, self-starter in a goal-driven environment. To show numerically that we are self-starters in a goal-driven environment, we want to show things like how many projects we personally initiated, or issues that we personally discovered, or anything to do with assertiveness independently that directly led to a beneficial outcome. Again, that can be measured. For example, as a self-starter in a goal-driven environment, I initiated 3 cost reduction projects over a 12-month period that exceeded our cost reduction goals by 13%, reaching a total of $150,000. I know that sounds like a lot. What we are doing by conveying those types of specifics is understanding the importance of being a self-starter in a goal-driven environment. We're not just saying the words, which are fluff. We're demonstrating that we understand exactly how the business works, the importance of what's being measured. Or how about this? I'm sure you've heard this a lot too. I facilitate cross-functional teams. What we want to show to demonstrate that we can facilitate cross-functional teams in a way that matters numerically is to demonstrate something along the lines of projects that we've managed or implementations that we've been a part of or have overseen that included multiple departments, and I recommend listing them, and led to some type of numerical outcome that could be measured in its important and impactful. For example, through facilitation of cross-functional teams, I implemented 16 new customer projects that included the cross-collaboration of sales, marketing, engineering, and service to increase our annual revenue by $30 million. When you can speak something like that or write it in a resume, what we're conveying is we understand what it means to facilitate cross-functional teams that drives numerical growth. This is incredibly important to every executive above you, certainly to the CEO, definitely to the stockholders. We want to demonstrate that we know how important it is by communicating it in every little thing we do. We don't want to just say facilitate cross-functional teams. That's fluff. Or here's one we see all the time, and it's very likely you have this in your resume too: strong communication skills. How in the heck do we know when someone has strong communication skills? How can we even measure that? Well, one way is to consider that those with strong communication skills are usually the ones chosen to communicate big messages. So, for example, you could say something like this: using strong communication skills, I facilitated a global safety awareness project that resulted in a 12% reduction in safety cases in a 1-year period. When we can convey that about our strong communication skills, we're showing I'm aware that strong communication skills engage employees, and through those skills, I can actually change employee behavior. Boy, this is really executive level thinking. It's something that we want to convey. We want to grasp and then communicate, whether it's on our resume or to our boss when we're looking for that promotion. Or how about strong analytical and problem solving skills? That is so incredibly nebulous, and yet it's so common. I'm sure you recognize that again. So what we want to do is show how our ability to analyze and resolve leads to numerical results. I know I'm beating a dead horse here. In this case, it does depend heavily on the occupation that you have, the industry and occupation. The good news is every industry, every job title, every country having strong analytical and problem-solving skills connects very directly to some type of number of some kind. For example, demonstrated strong problem-solving and analytical skills by identifying gaps in our student retention policy. As a result, I created a new global standard operating procedure and implemented across our multiple colleges, which directly led to an increased fall retention rate of 150 extra students, something like that. This conveys that we understand how strong analytical skills and strong problem-solving skills matter to a company in some numerical way. There are, of course, many more examples. If you want some help with a specific one of yours, just leave the comment below. Hey, Shawn, how do I quantify something as nebulous as, and then write it out? I'll be glad to share it right in the comments. The idea is we want to think constantly from this point forward on how success is measured numerically. When we can show that our presence, our work, our efforts lead to numerical success, the company will value that in us very highly, which means they will also compensate us very highly. This is not about, of course, becoming rich or making lots of money. You know, my platform here, my entire foundation is about using our wealth and our position to impact others for Christ, using that additional income to serve the poor and the needy or to help people. This is about how to quantify your results so that you can demonstrate you're ready to be promoted. Or if you're interviewing, that you're ready to be hired for that job. You will definitely stand out when you focus on your numbers, which means when you focus on your numbers, you'll focus on growing your career. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.